Welcome to another episode of Twice Told Tales podcast with the News Boss series. I'm going to start with what happened today in Iran, in the northern city of Babul Sar, where there was a shooting incident at a bank, and the victim is a prominent clergyman who is a member of the Assembly of Experts in Iran, Ayatollah Abbas Ali Soleimani, who also served in different provinces, including the southeastern province of Sistan Baluchistan, which has a majority of Sunnis, and he was famous for his work towards more Shia and Sunni unity. So the initial reports by Iranian media suggested that eyewitness said there was a guy who just walked into the bank, snatched the gun from the security guard, and started shooting at this clergyman who was waiting for his turn to do his banking stuff. But then later, just maybe a couple of hours ago, there was a new video released of the CCTV camera inside the bank, which shows that it was actually the security guard who started shooting like casually at this clergyman, and he died. So the possible scenarios that are being discussed so far is that the guy, the security guard, did not even know him. He just knew that he was a clergyman from the way he was dressed, and started shooting, and other people came in and started to try to stop him, but it was too late and he died. The Iranian government is saying that it does not look like a terrorist attack because they believe that the guy did not even know the clergyman, but I would say it's still suspicious, and we're all waiting for more details to come. The guy has been arrested and is under investigation, so we have to wait and see what actually has happened and what were the motives of this guy, because he's also, like the security guard, is also someone who is known with the bank in the region, in the northern city where the clergyman is actually originally from. So yeah, everyone is waiting for more details to come out and see what actually has happened and what the motives behind this attack has been.
Was the security man known to be like a anti-government activist or something like that?
No, I mean, with the details that we have so far, it doesn't look like he had any like history of being active in anything, and it looks like everyone knew him as some security guard at the bank. So, but as I said, like since morning, the story that has been developing, and there were many different contradictory accounts of the thing happening. So I think we still need to wait and see what actually has happened. But what the video shows is that he's a security guard with the bank, has been working there. Like he's not someone who other people don't know. And he just randomly starts shooting at him from behind while he's sitting on the chairs.
Wow.
Yeah, like he doesn't even see the guy. Yes.
Well, I mean, if it's if it's a clergyman whose his goal was Shia Sunni unity, I mean, currently, it's ever since the invasion of Iraq by the U.S., that's been an objective of the CIA, is to create a division between Shia and Sunni, and they did it really effectively in Iraq, and that's boiled over into the Muslim world ever since 2003, where they would like get groups to suicide bomb each other and then create this hatred and division. And I mean, there's always been a little division, but it was never a violent, deadly division. Exactly. There was mixed marriages would be common, but now it's like in Iraq, that's an impossibility to, and that's all because the CIA orchestrated hatred. And now you have Saudi Arabia aligning with realigning, and it looks like realigning with Iran in opposition to what the CIA would like, having a cleric who's there to encourage that kind of unity, spiritual unity, would be really dangerous. So someone dying under weird circumstances like that definitely should be suspected of having some sort of CIA involvement. And, MK Ultra, like the mind control where they hypnotize people into like doing violent, acting out as like a Manchurian candidate style scenarios. That's real. They have lots of history of doing that kind of stuff. I mean, Sirhan is a classic example of someone who was brainwashed into committing violent acts. So who knows? It's interesting. Very weird.
But even I mean, if it is just a coincidence, like the guy, it wasn't a planned assassination and it was just some random guy, I would say the CIA and, like you said, those who are looking for more discord would be very lucky that this happened, and because he was a prominent figure. And I would say, like, maybe the least curious explanation would be that this was just some guy affected by sanctions and propaganda and wanted to that had just some. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that could be possible, but I mean, one of the explanations, one of the possible scenarios, a very unlikely possible scenario, I would say, would be that he just hated clergymen affected by propaganda that has been really violent over the past few months against clergymen, like just randomly attacking them on the streets and like tossing up their. I mean, it's not prevalent. It wasn't happening very frequently, but it was very much encouraged by different Persian-speaking propaganda channels funded by the UK and US. But that's, as I said, I personally think that's a very least likely scenario. But still, I mean.
But you also have a
scenario
like
consider.
I always reference the one by that Mansour Tajik discussed in her translations, where you have this really complex, like basically over the phone, over the internet, over messenger, using Bitcoin as payment, of like intelligence apparatus that gets just average people on the street to do things for money. And then, who knows, maybe money is one option, but blackmail is another. So you never know, like maybe this guy, had a girlfriend or something and they were going to tell his wife or did something like that, and they were like, look, you can either do this and be remembered as a good guy, or whatever. So I mean, I don't know, whatever.
But that death, he would receive death penalty, so I don't think what would be worse than that.
Exactly, that's a good question. Who knows what I mean, it's hard to know, but there are a lot of things that can happen with these sort of operations that don't require like operations officers on the ground. They can do it through like covert means, just mass recruiting general public and then filtering them down to see who follows directions by asking them to do small tasks and rewarding them until you get someone who's trained to do tasks for you, and then you can just escalate that. And then you could use those people to do something to this guy to like checkmate him into a position where he has no choice but to sacrifice his life and do this. So I don't know. These people are like Machiavellian psychos who control a lot of these operations. So I don't know what's possible. But I'll just say that even if, let's say, this guy just had a mental breakdown and decided to do this, like the imperialists win on this one, because this guy who.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a shame. And also, I think it's a good chance to just repeat the idea that the word Ayatollah, because this is an Ayatollah, and when you use that word in America, that word has become completely propagandized. So there's no way to say Ayatollah and elucidate the response where someone, if you said the word priest, well, I don't know. If you said the word minister or rabbi, rabbi's good because that one's like untouched. If you say the word rabbi or the word Ayatollah, the emotional response from Ayatollah is totally different because of the way it's been used.
Of course.
Someone who's a horrible person, angry, religious person trying to hurt people. That's basically what it's meant to.
Yeah, or even that all the Ayatollahs are like pro-Islamic Republic government,
Yeah,
and they're all into politics, which is not the case.
yes,
Like you have Ayatollahs who are just spiritual leaders and have nothing to do with politics. I mean, they stay out of the politics, and they are
yeah.
very popular spiritual leaders, and nobody knows about that. So, yeah,
It's
I
terrible
mean,
how it's been totally abused here because you can't say
yeah,
that word and have it mean anything other than like a regressive, like wife beating, angry man. And religion, when it's associated with religion, it's associated with like evil, bad religion. Like it's like the emotion. It's amazing
exactly.
how triggered that word is. It just makes no sense because it really is just. It's just a religious person who, just like a religious leader in Christian or Jewish faith. There's no
Or a
there,
llama, yeah,
yeah, or a llama or a whatever. It's exactly yeah. So
yeah,
it's uh, people who are like Americans or people in the West. It's a good chance to do some self-reflection on how you have been manipulated in your mind because uh, yeah,
yeah, that's
it's
true.
it's your emotional response to those things is often programmed in for many years, and you don't
That's
realize how
true.
you're responding to things. Thanks for joining us, and see you again next time.